What's going on, SoFi investors? Jay here. Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't yet, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. It really helps us grow. Okay, let's get into the video today. I want to talk about Cathie Wood and how she's been buying a ton of SoFi shares. She has bought SoFi shares 6 trading days in a row, and I want to show you guys just how many shares she owns in the 2 funds in ARK Invest. Okay, first I want to talk about ARKK. That's her flagship fund. That's the big dog where the majority of her money is invested. All right, some of the biggest stocks in this include Coinbase, Tesla, Roku, Block, CRISPR, Zoom, Robinhood, Unity Software, DraftKings, Palantir, all the favorites of the channel. I'm an investor in DraftKings, in Tesla. I was an investor in Coinbase, but it's ran up a lot, so I've been selling some of my shares. And I do have some cash secured puts on Robinhood in that $12 range. All right, so if we scroll down in this fund, SoFi right now, as you can see highlighted below, is the 31st biggest holding in this ARKK fund. About 1% of the total allotment for this fund. She currently has 10 million shares in this fund and over $77 million invested in this fund. And who knows, she could keep buying more and more and more. So if SoFi doubles up and goes from $7.50 to say $15, she's going to have over 150 million, and that's going to be right around in the top 20, top 15 of the biggest investments in this ARKK fund. Next up, everyone, I'm going to show you the ARKF fund. This is her Fintech fund, and with the recent buys yesterday, SoFi just landed in the top 10 in investments in this fund, over 3.25%, 3.38%. Over 38, almost $39 million, and over 5 million shares of SoFi stock. It's crazy, man. She's really loading the boat. Some of the biggest investments in this fund include Coinbase, Block, Shopify, DraftKings, Robinhood, and Toast. 3.38%. A double up in SoFi would give her around $80 million and be a top 3 holding in this ARKF fund. Cathie Wood sees the value in SoFi, as I do. Just so everyone knows, I am an investor in SoFi. I have around 4,000 shares. I bought another 50 shares today in that 750 range, and I'm slowly accumulating at this price point. Anything under $10 is a buy for me right now. Under $8, I think in the long term is going to be an absolute steal. So I ran the numbers. So she currently has 140,500 shares of SoFi in all of her funds across both the ARKF and ARKK funds. Over 150 million shares of SoFi. And then, check this out. Boom! $113 million worth of SoFi stock. If SoFi doubles up, she's going to have $250 million worth of SoFi stock across these funds, which is absolutely insane considering even at $15, it's at a pretty fair valuation considering the growth, and it's not just some lame bank growing 3 to 5%. They're growing way above most banks. I mean, of course, over time, that growth is going to come down a little bit. We're not going to stay in that 30, 40, 25% range forever, but if SoFi can consistently grow between 15 and 25% per year, continue to grow the amount of people using these accounts, this company is going to continue to take market share. One other thing I want to show you guys is the ownership breakdown of SoFi. Okay, right now, this gets updated quarterly on Simply Wall Street. I'm not affiliated with them at all whatsoever. I just like their tools. They're pretty cool. I'm a visual learner, and I think a lot of us are. So I like to see the actual breakdowns and like these kind of chart table things. So right now, institutions own around 40%, but this hasn't been readjusted since ARK has been buying a ton, and readjusted since the $750 million in senior notes that was announced last week. So institutions own around 40%, public companies own around 4.5%, and the general public owns 53%. As an investor, we do not want to see the general public owning more shares than institutions. That's retail. And if you look on Robinhood, they have this awesome new feature where it shows you what the hedge funds are doing, what insiders are doing, and what retail investors on the Robinhood platform are doing, buying and selling shares of SoFi. And if you click under the retail, you really get to see, holy crap, the amount of retail investors selling cheap shares to institutions is unbelievable. I think once this readjusts in the next month or two, we're going to see institutions jump to that 45, maybe even 50% of the general holdings for the SoFi float. All right, everyone, check this out. This is the ownership breakdown of SoFi stock. Right now, the Vanguard Group is the biggest owner of SoFi at over 8%. And in the recent quarter, they added 6.5% to their already lofty amount of shares, over 80 million shares and over $500 million. Vanguard has invested in SoFi. And if you look at some of these other companies, SoftBank Group, BlackRock, Silver Lake, Qatar Investments, Straight Street Global, Two Sigma, Morgan Stanley. Check out Morgan Stanley, guys. 26% added in the last quarter to the amount of shares that they own. And if you look at a lot of these companies, Citadel, great company, 632% increase. Millennium Management, 645% increase. So some of these institutions are already starting to buy these cheap shares, adding them to their portfolio because they think SoFi is a good investment going forward. And it's only a few companies that have kind of slashed their investments. Only one of significance, I've never heard of them before, but Norges Bank Investment Management decreased their stake by 26%. But pretty much you see a lot of green, and a lot of green means more institutions are buying SoFi stock. That makes me, as a SoFi shareholder, much happier. Okay, guys, I wanted to just show you just how many shares Cathie Wood and ARK Invest owns in SoFi, so we can kind of gauge, wow, she has over $100 million invested in SoFi. Cathie Wood has made some good investments and some bad investments over the years, but usually the one she goes hard on is the one she has the most confidence in. She has a ton of people on her team looking into the good and the bad on SoFi and their growth trajectory over the next 3 to 5 years. That's her investment horizon is around that 5-year range. All right, everyone, thank you so much for tuning into the video. If you haven't yet, please hit that like button. We just hit 350 subscribers. Thank you so much. We're trying to get to 500 and eventually 1,000 so I can get this channel monetized. And if you're into sports, check out my channel, Jay All Day. I'll leave it in the description below. I do all kinds of mixed martial arts and the NFL and Major League Baseball on that channel. So I want to get this channel monetized so I can continue, quit my day job, and just bring you all kinds of stock stuff. All right, guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys tuning into this content. It means the world to me. Peace.